I'm with you.
People were more outraged by that
I got it.
than they are by what happened to
that's
human beings.
Not always true, but
Not everybody.
I know. Okay, so help me out here. Where would we be here and now if the president of the United States didn't continue to attack the protesting NFL players on Twitter and question the legitimacy of their cause?
Exactly.
That's what's happening.
Because he said they don't even know why they're doing it.
They don't even know why they're doing it. This happens again and again. It's like right on schedule because it's good for him and his constituents.
Yep.
He's playing to a crowd, and to your point, and I'm not as political as you are, but it's a great distraction from what else is going on.
Yeah.
The real much more important in that realm, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what if he were silent on this issue? Where would we be now? Would we be in a different place?
I believe so, Skip. And here's the thing. Had the owners taken a stance in 2016 without President Trump weighing in, because the stance that they took was the stance that President Trump got on a stage in Huntsville, Alabama, saying they should be kicked out. And then so you adopt the policy that you're going to suspend them. So the players are looking at, hold on, you're just echoing what he said. You didn't even say this at first. We've been doing this for a year and a half, and you never said a word. It wasn't until he said that, now all of a sudden you got a problem with what we're doing. And it's about to be an ongoing problem.
Okay. So, to me, as I step back from this, I think of what Aaron Rodgers said the other day. He recommended, from his vantage point, that NFL players, and he's mostly talking about black players, some white players, no longer, just don't respond to the president anymore. Because if you don't respond, you don't fuel it. You don't give it longer life. It just goes away after a while. And I told Shannon on this show, in a vacuum, I get that. But Aaron Rodgers is a white man. He's not a black man. So the president of the United States is challenging the black players. And in the bigger picture, he's challenging the black community on this issue. Well, this is deep. This is powerful. So to me, he is flaunting his power, and that's the ultimate power, right?
Yes.
He's flexing his power.
Yes.
Well, as a group, the black players in the National Football League are 75%. Are we saying 75%?
Right, 75%. Yep.
Yeah.
They hold a lot of power too. So I am good if they want to relaunch this, if you want to call it protest. It wouldn't bother me if we had rampant kneeling on next week or opening Sunday or whenever they wanted to do it as a group, because they need to stand up and fight back and say no.
Yes.
And I would not blame them. And again, I'm coming from a different vantage point here, but that's me. That I was good. It made me feel good that some protested last night, and there are lots of different ways.
Right.
And some of them were more minor sort of ways. But if Jacksonville wants to stay in, I don't like that, because you're sort of going along with the policy that was originally in place, right?
Right.
If you want to stay in the locker room, stay in the locker room, which I did not like either. So out of sight, out of mind, you can do what you want.
That's what they want to do, right?
Because,
they want to see. Right.
But then you get lumped in because people are counting.
Yeah.
Well, where was Tevin Smith?
But
where was Leonard Fournette?
I said that the first day.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Right.
That's why that's wrong. But I'm okay if there's ramped up protests from here on, because you need to, I hate to use that phrase, stand your ground, but you need to toe your
push
line.
back.
Yeah, you need to push back.
And the NFL players, the union has always been weak or whatever, but I will give, I was proud of NFL players who just didn't buckle under and say, I'm going to fall in line, and okay, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just kind of move forward. And the other part is, this is where Goodell comes in. Colin Kaepernick, I think if they would not have done that to Colin Kaepernick, this is probably would have moved forward as well. And that was the thing that I think where a commissioner has to come in.
You could throw Eric Reed in.
Am I right? And say, dude, we just can't we can't do this. This is not good for anybody, for the league, for the players, for the morale. We won't be able to get guys to understand how important this is when you're doing blackballing people from playing who should be in the league.
There's a saying that says, what you allow is what will continue.
Yes.
Name the person that stops negative behavior without accountability. So if you let President Trump says whatever, do whatever.
I am with you. No.
He will continue. Because a lot of people would have done that in the beginning, because the way they could have done it is that when he comes up on that primary ticket, let him be in last place instead of first place. Where you put him in first place, he say, "Oh, so you agree with what I say?"
Right, absolutely.
So you like what I'm saying. The more outlandish and the more racist and when you criticize
John McCain
and then you make fun of the handicapped, the disabled reporter
from the New York Times.
and the more outlandish things you said, the more you rose. What's to stop? If you reward negative behavior, you're going to get more of that.
You are.
These players, man, don't back down. Do your thing.
Okay, I keep telling you, don't respond to Joe Nobody on Twitter.
Right.
But that's Joe Nobody. This is Joe Somebody. This is the biggest somebody.
Yes.
And I hate to see this sort of degenerate to NFL black players versus President Trump, but
that's where he took it there.
He took it there, and he represents the other side of your cause.
Yeah.
Right?
This is the one part I just don't understand, even if you're not into the protest. I'm not sure how, like, the fans who are so bothered, I don't understand how it affects them at all. If you go,
I think a lot more people are enlightened, and the polls are starting to suggest that it's starting to swing back to, oh, we get it now, so we're okay with it. And people are starting to accept it as it's become sort of part of
I just want to know, Skip, I want to know Rob, I want to know one thing. Why wouldn't he stick to politics?
I don't know.
You know, Shannon, you do sports. Don't stay out of politics. Why would he stay out of sports?
It's a great issue, so he can preach to his choir.
Exactly.
He can't help himself. But these tweets aren't going away. I mean, they're threatening. Like, the last thing he said was stand or be suspended without pay. Like, these are not going away.
And guess what, Skip? That's what the owner said. That's what he said in Huntsville.
Yep.
Like 8 months ago, almost a year ago.
Okay, and I don't know if I should read anything into this, but I'll just throw it out. Remember, Donald Trump was real close to buying the Buffalo Bills in 2014. Is there any sort of spite there?
Oh, yeah, he's still upset.
Because
they didn't want him in the club, right?
It felt like that.
They don't.
The Pagula family offered a little bit more,
Yeah.
1.2. He said he put $1 billion in cash on the table.
Whatever.
Okay, whatever, but whatever. Would history have changed in many, many ways if the NFL had said, yeah, we'll give you the Buffalo Bills? Then he would not be president of the United States?
Well, yeah.
Right?
Woo. Yeah. That would be, damn, why y'all let him buy it? I'm like Florida Evans. Damn.
Wow, what could have
you old
been?
enough to
Rob,
know that
thank
shit?
you for joining us.
That was a great
Des
moment on Good
Bryant
Time.
about to